Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network live, woodwardsports.com. Let me tell you, I don't wake up in a good mood often. Today was one of those days. And you know what? I don't have a reason. And I don't need to explain myself, but I thought it was enough for me to at least share.
I think you have a reason.
I woke up in a good mood today. I don't know why yet.
No, we know.
I'm sure there is a reason.
There's a reason.
It is a reason beyond me, though.
Oh. I think
it
you
is
know.
A reason
I
beyond
think you know
me.
the reason.
It may be because we have an excellent show planned.
Oh, I'm trying to give you a hint.
It may be because Jeff Iafrate updated his profile picture on Instagram.
I mean, that
it
could
looks
be
like
true.
an absolute stud. It could be because somebody actually showed up to work on
That's
time.
what I was looking at.
Who knows what it could be? But what matters is that all of you are here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
And real quick, too, I want to
for it.
say to Joey 2 times, someone who's always in the chat for the Morning Woodward Show and for multiple other shows here on the network. I just want to say prayers out to you, my man.
Oh, what's
I
going
know
on?
you're probably not currently tuning in, but you might rewatch, and hope everything is all well. And we miss you. And hopefully you get back to us soon.
Personal issues?
Yeah, he's he put an update in the chat. He had to take an ambulance ride.
No problem.
But you know what? One of the guys you always see in the chat. So great guy, man.
All
Prayers
right,
up
well,
to Joey.
let's start with this. Not often, the week of the Super Bowl, you'll get something to talk about with the Lions, right? Tough to find stuff these days, right? Everybody's on vacation. Teams are out and about, minding their own business, getting ready for the NFL draft. But yesterday, the Minnesota Vikings made a very good hire.
Great hire.
The Minnesota Vikings hired former head coach Brian Flores to be their next defensive coordinator. And if I need to remind you, which I shouldn't have to, but I'm sure you know, the Vikings were one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year and somehow, someway won their division. It doesn't make any sense. To be honest, the NFC sucks. That's maybe a big part of it, going 11-0. Very fortunate to go 11-0 in one-possession games. But hey, we're going to look past all of it. It's a very good hire for Minnesota. And to me, from an outsider perspective, right, I'm not in Minnesota, I look at that and say, yeah, man, they're running it right. They're doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kevin O'Connell. It's like, yeah, that's a good hire. Oh, year one wins a division. Oh, okay, not bad. What happens in this offseason? Brian Flores, very, very overqualified, by the way, coach, defensive coordinator. Hey, we have a problem. Can we address it, guys? Right? It's like it being at home. You know there's a problem. Like, you did something to your wife. You did something. Whether you pissed her off, you forgot the coffee, you left the seat up, I don't know. You didn't take out the garbage. You know there's a problem. What are you waiting for? Fix it. What are you waiting for? Vikings waste no time. Before the Super Bowl, they make their announcement. Brian Flores, you are our next defensive coordinator. I think it's a great hire for them, Jeff. And I think it does change perception, possibly going into next season, about who the favorite in the North is. You'd always want to lean towards who just won the North. But, man, the Lions came on strong at the end of the year, no?
No, they did. I mean, the Vikings defense got better as soon as Brian put the pen to the paper. I mean, that without even making any personnel moves. Having a guy like Brian Flores, obviously we know him as a head coach, but longtime defensive coach, especially for the New England Patriots, it's a great hire. And they were interviewing multiple guys. I know, and I was reading this article on ESPN to get more of the details, and it says Flores' defense in Miami was known for heavy blitzing and had the NFL's fourth highest blitz rate from 2019 to 2021, and man-to-man coverage in the secondary. Two characteristics the Vikings largely stayed away from under Donatel. So this is not only just a coaching change, but a completely probably scheme change. And it's not a personnel issue. Like, the Vikings defense have talent. They do. I mean, you go through their defensive lines, Darius Smith, and we know they have Hunter. Obviously, he's been there. Dalvin Tomlinson. They're getting their rookie safety now in his second year that we mocked to our drafts last year. And on top of that, you got Harrison Smith. Like, they got talent. Jordan Hicks didn't have a terrible year. So to me, it was never about personnel. It was always about schematically. I mean, they were 31st in yards, especially passing. And now you got Brian Flores. So this is it. Good news for Vikings fans. Obviously, for us who cover the Lions, this is
what does it mean for the Lions?
It's bad news.
You're upbeat going into this offseason. I do think defensively you will have more talent than the Minnesota Vikings next year. Is Brian Flores a D'Amico Ryans, a Robert Saleh, where you put him on your staff and you are insanely better day one? No. Can he be? I don't know.
I think so.
But
I
do know that his defenses in Miami were enough to win games with Tua, without Tua, no offense, scoring 11, 12, 13 points a game. I know his defenses were good enough to win those games. I saw his defense go a 4 or 5 week stretch leading the NFL in scoring defense, and single-handedly winning games when the offense wouldn't score anything.
I mean, he gets talent out of the guys on defense. Like he gets,
and
these
that
guys
was a talented Miami defense, right?
Right.
You got to be fair, but man,
still got production out of it.
Quality hire,
right?
Quality hire for Minnesota. I thought they did really well. Now, what does it mean for Detroit? This is kind of nothing in life is easy, right? And you know what? It tastes better when it's not easy. Making the playoffs this year would have been nice. The NFC was weak. You had everything in front of you. You didn't. You came up short. Tiebreaker, unlucky, whatever you want to say. But you get to go in your third season now. Minnesota are likely the favorites to win the division. But boy, you are a close second, Detroit. You're better than Green Bay. Definitely better than that dumpster in Chicago. What it means is good. It's a good thing. Oh, the Vikings hired a promising young offensive-minded coach last year? Good. Oh, they just hired a really, really respected coach to be their DC who was really effective on the defensive side of the ball in Miami? Good. No problem. Bring him. Because eventually you are going to have to face one of the better teams in the NFL if you want to get to where you want to be. Whether it's the Eagles, the Niners. You want to look at the Vikings, they're one of the better teams in the NFC. Look at the Cowboys, you can say the same thing. Eventually, you're going to have to win. And not only win, you're going to have to beat teams that are better than you.
Right.
How many games did the Lions win this year where the team was clearly better than them? Came close against Buffalo, but clearly not even so much better than Detroit. Detroit had no business winning. I don't think Washington is that much better than Detroit.
Yeah, they blew out the Jags.
The Jags,
but they're not
inconsistent.
Yeah,
young.
They're not.
I don't think
way
they're
better than
they
Detroit.
were the worst team in the NFL last year. The Giants, no. Giants don't have any offensive talent outside of Saquon Barkley. So who? The Packers? The Packers aren't significantly better than you.
Beating the Vikings.
The Bears are significantly better than you. And you can even look at the Vikings, who somehow, some way find a way to get in their own way. Very, 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 very familiar here in this town. But what does it mean? What it means is you are going to have to start winning games that you know what you're just not up for. You know what? You just don't play your best ball. You know what? Their coaches do a hell of a job of game planning for you. And I think that's your evolution this year. Brian Flores, Minnesota, I like the hire. Actually, I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to have to address the talent. They need a lot of talent. They were aging. A lot of players past their prime. They're going to have to figure it out. But
that's why you hire Brian Flores.
That's why you hire Brian. Exactly.
To figure it out.
Get more out of what I have.
Exactly.
And to Aaron Glenn's credit, as frustrated as I may be with him, you know who I do not doubt will get the most out of my young talent if given the right situation? Aaron Glenn. I don't give Aaron Glenn credit for James Houston. I think that was lightning in a bottle. I think that was more so you would just bring him in on third down, obvious pass rush situations. The motherfucker would just get home.
Yeah, he's just talented.
That to me, I don't even know how to quantify that yet. We'll see how he does this year. But Aiden Hutchinson's development, very important here. Mike Hughes even. Kirby Joseph in the secondary to replace Tracy Walker. The hardest thing you could do for this football team. And he did it in style. Was the best rookie safety outside of Jalen Petrie.
Yeah.
So you are going to have to start winning these games. You're going to have to start challenging yourself. Brian Flores to the Vikings? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Can't wait.
Yeah, I was saying, if you think
seriously,
if the Lions are legit, this shouldn't be a concern. And I think it's more interesting the fact that you have Ben Johnson, one of the most young, probably the most popular offensive coordinator, and one of the hottest. And then you have Brian Flores, who I thought would be getting a head coaching job. He, gets a DC job. He's already one of the better DCs in the entire NFL. I do believe that. That's the battle you're going to want to see. This Lions offense versus that Vikings defense. I know personnel-wise, it's not that bad. I know last year they didn't get as much out of their talent, but if you believe in Ben, which we all do, he's going to be able to find a way. So I'm excited.
I want to pause a little bit, take a break, continue the conversation. 8:30, CBS came out with a mock draft that apparently sent Jeff into a frenzy of frustration. He wouldn't leave me alone last night. So at 8:30, we'll get to that. 8:45, the Lions hire a new running back coach, Scotty Montgomery. We'll get to him at 8:45. 9 o'clock, trade deadline scenarios with Jeff Iafrate for the Detroit Pistons. 9:15, we talked about Kevin Durant. Is there a team who could completely change the outlook of their season by acquiring Kevin Durant if he's available? 9:30, Jameson Williams. We got to talk about the boy, right? Mm-hmm. Got a good show planned. Can't wait. But before we go, I got 2 minutes. I do see the Steve Wilkes conversation happening in the chat. Michael, if you don't mind, I would love my camera. Let me make something very clear to all of you at home. I can only speak for myself, but I like to believe I speak for most GMs in this scenario. Matt Rule was a dumpster fire. Steve Wilkes did do a good job of getting everybody together, making everybody feel good, playing hard. That's all great. How are the defensive-minded coaches doing in the NFL currently as head coaches? Sean McDermott can't figure out anything on offense. It's just Josh Allen. And you give most of the credit, to be honest, to Brandon Beane and Josh Allen anyways. He hasn't won a big-time game yet. He's failed to win the big-time games. Who else? How'd Mike Vrabel look this year? Oh, the offense went to shit. How's Robert Saleh doing? Can't get a quarterback. Can't figure it out. Can't develop one. How's it going for these guys?
Bill Belichick had Matt Patricia as his OC. So you know what?
How's it going?
It's an interesting year.
Oh, wait. Who was in the AFC and NFC title games this past year?
Offensive coaches.
Wait. Who's the Bengals coach? Zach Taylor?
That is Zach Taylor.
Offensive-minded. Andy Reid?
Former quarterback coach.
Oh, Andy Reid. Greatest offensive-minded in the game, probably.
Absolutely.
NFC? Nick Sirianni? Oh.
Kyle Shanahan, one of the greatest coaches of this era.
Not a defensive coach?
No.
Not Jim Shorts?
No, he is not. No.
Not Brian Flores
not
even?
Jim Shorts.
That's where the league's trending. All right? You don't like it? Cry me a river. When we get back, we'll continue the conversation. 8:30, we'll get to CBS mock draft. And then I can't wait for next Monday. Because next Monday, officially, is mock draft season here on the Morning Woodward Show.
Last mock draft season, there were some memorable picks that ended up coming to fruition, like Kirby Joseph.
He was on every board.
Yeah.
He didn't. There were some really good picks last year.
He was the guy.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. We'll do that next week, next Monday. Can't wait. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Let me tell you about them. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron is fashionable, functional, and fun if you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste. Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at drinkcintron.com. Cintron is also available at Amazon.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. I'll tell you what. The Minnesota Vikings didn't do anything yet. They got to cut some players. They got to make some
Dalvin
decisions,
Cook could be on the move.
and they got to pay Justin Jefferson.
Right.
What are you going to do with Kirk Cousins? There's a lot that really could go wrong for Minnesota. Having said that, confidence in the offense, but it always goes back to the same point about the same team, about the same coach, about the same general manager, about the same front office, and about the same organization. And it's the Detroit Lions being in pole position next year to compete and win the NFC North. It's a good hire for Minnesota. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to work out really well. I think it could lead to Brian Flores getting a job at the end of the year.
I agree.
Having said that, why should I be more confident in Minnesota, who had a season you can't explain, who in a normal season, if they were to go 7-4 in one possession games, they would have been an 8-win team. Think about that. 12-5 this year. Had they just gone 7-4, which is still excellent in one possession games, they would have been an 8-9 football team. Think about that. You know who would have won the North? The Lions. That to me is the scariest point of all. Because when you're a team and your coach over-delivers, or your team overachieves, even look at the Giants, well, what am I supposed to do? See, the Giants are young, so it's kind of okay. But the Vikings are old. And you're not sitting on draft capital. So what the hell are you going to do? And you're in cap hell.
Right.
Minnesota next year, as much as I really like the coach, and I really do, they're a 9-win team next year.
Yeah.
And your Detroit Lions should, can, and I think will win the division at 10-7, 11-6.
I agree.
And I don't think anybody is in their way except one team. Themselves. Because I saw them get in their own way when they were 1-6. And when they finally got past it and got out of the way, stopped making all the stupid mistakes, stopped going for it, stopped kicking onside kicks, stopped with all the stupid shit, they finished 8-2 down the stretch. And they got out of their own way. And yes, players got healthy. Yes, coaching got better. A lot of factors in it. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing was you got out of your own way. You let the game come to you. You let Chicago beat themselves when he came back in the fourth quarter. Lions didn't do anything special. They went down. They scored on a quality drive. And Justin Fields decided to throw up a laying duck to Jeff Okudah. Good. Thank you. We'll take that. Thank you very much. Oh, you missed an extra point? Fuck you too. Good job. Thank you. Let teams beat themselves. You don't have to go out and, quote, win every game. And you saw them do that in the last 8 out of their 10 games.
Right.
Lions are the favorites in the North. There's no hire they could make. There's no move they could make. Because at the end of the day, you got the second best quarterback in the NFC. And maybe the Vikings have the 4th or the 5th, depending on how generous you want to be.
And that's the difference. I think the two teams in the NFC North that are obviously trending upwards, you could do the Bears and the Lions. The Bears are a couple years away, though. Got, $100 million in cap space. They have assets, but still, they got a roster with a lot of holes. The Lions have a roster with young, up-and-coming talent. They have some holes as well in the secondary, but you can add to that with the draft capital, with the money they're going to have available. The Vikings and the Packers are both so over the cap. You're going to have to make some tough decisions. Some guys are going to have to get let go, and for the Vikings, it very well could be Dalvin Cook. So the question is, if you're talking about teams that are going to be, in the way of the Lions, you are absolutely correct. It is themselves. I do think the Vikings will contend for the division, but I agree with you. I think 10, 11 wins could win this division. I don't think it's going to be a 13, 12-win team that takes the NFC North. But in this scenario, with the Lions and where they're projected and where they're trending, there's as much as I love the Brian Flores hire, like non-bias, I absolutely love the hire. This doesn't change anything going forward. The Lions, to me, are still a team that very well will contend and might even win the NFC North next season. They have not only young talent, and they have a coach who we think is on the uprise, and Dan Campbell. He's proven that this year. But you got all the pieces to succeed. I mean, you have the best offensive line in the NFC North. You have the best quarterback, especially with Aaron Rodgers leads in the NFC North. You could argue, one of the better run games. You have probably the most weapons besides the Vikings.
You have the best offensive line. You have you could argue, the best defensive front.
I think right now...
Premature, maybe.
Yes. I think a more potential, especially if you add a rookie this year who you like at 6. Maybe you add a defensive lineman. I agree. So... the Lions, this does not change what the Lions' focus is. That's going out and beating the Vikings. I mean, you almost beat them twice this season with that roster as it is, even at the beginning of the year when they didn't hit their peak at the end.
Let's get away from player personnel. Brian Flores just got picked up. Who was he rumored to go to?
Arizona.
Who has completed a second interview in Arizona? Aaron Glenn.
But they ruled him. I'm almost positive they ruled him out.
I'm trying to understand who the coaches are this cycle. Aaron Glenn, to me, is staying. I think they haven't made it official yet, but I don't think he's taking a head coaching job.
No, the only two I wanted to look.
Indianapolis.
No, for Arizona, the only two candidates that are
left?
zeroing in on is Mike Kafka and Lou Anarumo.
Who?
The Bengals defensive coordinator, Lou. So, there's the two. I think Brian Flores was in there, but now he just took the job for the Vikings. But still, AG will return. So, you got AG back, you got Ben back. Let's run it. I mean, I have confidence enough in Ben alone to figure this out. So, doesn't change anything.
Let me ask you this. I'm a big fan of DeMeco Ryans. I thought it was the perfect hire for the Texans, right? Crap franchise. Totally in the gutter ever since Bill O'Brien left. Complete disaster. They got some talent on the defense. They need a lot of work on the offense. They'll probably get their quarterback this year. Is it fair of me to say that a coach like DeMeco Ryans, what's his ceiling? Is it Bill Belichick? No, I don't think anybody has that ceiling. That's unfair. Okay, so who are the defensive coaches in the league that have had proven success consistently? Sean McDermott.
Yes.
Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. Anybody else?
Yeah, you can't put solid
off the top of my head.
No. I would say for him, he'll have an opportunity.
Could either be Mike Vrabel,
right?
Which everybody in here would agree is a good coach.
Absolutely.
He could be Sean McDermott, who's a good coach but underachieving at the moment. Or he could be Robert Saleh.
And Tomlin. Don't forget about Mike Tomlin, too.
I don't even know how to quantify. Mike Tomlin's special,
but
though.
He's another. You're not comparing him to Mike Tomlin.
Can we save the Mike Tomlin shit? That guy is special. 9-8 with a team that should win 4 or 5 games at most. 9-8 in the AFC where he is outmatched every single week at the quarterback position.
That's
I don't want to
unreal.
hear about Mike Tomlin. He's special.
That's unreal.
Mike Tomlin is Hall of Fame special, a different level of coach, top 5 coach in the NFL. You don't put those comparisons, you don't put those expectations on any coach, let alone a first-time head coach.
You know what the difference is with DeMeco, though, between Vrabel and Sean McDermott is DeMeco is going to have an opportunity to get his quarterback. Vrabel didn't have that. I mean, you walked in with Ryan Tannehill, and they won. He won the AFC. Surprisingly,
Walked in with a good defense, though.
Walked in with a great defense, but at least you're going to have an opportunity to draft possibly your franchise quarterback. So he'll have that going for him. We know they're going to try and rebuild the defense. They got talent already, a little bit. So I think DeMeco is a guy who you could see winning playoff
Well, it goes
games.
against.
I do.
Let's just be honest.
I love
it goes
DeMeco.
against the idea of football right now.
Right.
The idea of football is a young offensive-minded coach, bring in, improve your quarterback situation, or groom your potential franchise quarterback. That's what every team is looking for. But there are exceptions to the rule. Houston, had they gone out and gotten a Mike Kafka, he would fail. You know why? They have nothing on offense. But you know what the Houston Texans have on defense? Jalen Petrie.
Yeah.
Derek Stingley. They got a good front seven. I can walk in day one as DeMeco Ryans, have a top 15 defense, and I just need my offense not to fuck it up. And I can be what Robert Saleh was in his second year, in year one. Oh, if Bryce Young's a franchise quarterback, bet me. Bet me we'll win the division in 2 years. Mm-hmm. If he is. It's a big if.
And the formula for those guys, Sean McDermott, Mike Vrabel, and even Tomlin, and so on and so forth.
Great offensive coordinators.
Bingo. That's what you have to find. And he comes from Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Exceptions always. There are always exceptions to the rule. Some guys are more capable and ready to succeed than others. This idea, though, that coaches aren't getting a fair shot, or it's not fair. It's not fair. Steve Wilkes didn't get a job. I wouldn't hire Steve Wilkes, and I don't even know the man.
And I think he'll probably go to the 49ers, be their defensive coordinator.
That's great.
It's a great landing spot for him.
It's a great spot. Wouldn't hire him to be my head coach, depending on my situation. If I was Carolina, I just got through Matt Rule. Garbage situation. Yep. Horrible contract. Interim coach, does a decent job, but he's not the guy I want to overhaul and lead my franchise. What's the problem? He did his job. He was an interim coach.
Right.
He won some games. Great. In the NFC. How amazing. He beat the Lions. Ooh. We'll go to break. When we get back, I can't wait for this. CBS Sports came out with an amazing mock draft that has the Lions selecting a player. A player that you will find out next. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Well, it's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them any day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you for as long as you need. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's. And if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at Custom. Jesus Christ. Why do you guys do this to me, huh? Huh? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to do a good job. I'm trying to speak very, very kindly of the person on the screen, and that's what you do to me? Jesus Christ. Let me tell you about Dr. Jason and our good friends over at Custom Health Centers. Get your journey started today, and please, if you do look like easy, call Dr. Jason now at 844-789-8446, or I will be very upset with you. Having said that, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. WoodwardSports.com. Sorry, Easy. I don't mean to do you like that, buddy, but it's just the truth. CBS.
Jesus.
Came out with a mock draft. It's mock draft season. Everybody's trigger happy. Everybody thinks they know. Everybody wants this and that. And oh my God. This team is going to trade up 27 spots. This team is going to trade up 7 spots. This team is going to take a position they don't even need. It's my favorite time of the season. So, Jeff, I'll let you introduce it. Have at it.
So, this was a mock draft, CBS Sports, also from the Believe Network, and I just wanted to... I saw this on my Twitter, and I couldn't believe it. So, Mike, if you could throw this up... very weird scenario. I'll explain it for you. So he has the Colts trading up for number 1, and then he has the Bucks trading up from, I believe they pick 18 or not 19, excuse me. And the Arizona, I don't know why the hell they would drop all the way to 19, but they did. I don't know what the trade package looks like and which they got, but there you go. You got 3 quarterbacks in the first 3 picks. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis go 1, 2, and 3. Will Anderson at 4. Tyree Wilson, okay, interesting to Seattle over Jalen Carter. And Jalen Carter drops right into the Lions' lap, which makes 0 sense whatsoever. But you know what? Here we are. This is mock draft season. And all the BS, even though this makes absolutely no sense, it's interesting. The fact that Jalen Carter fell to you, okay. I mean, we'd take it. And then you take, at 18, Deonte Banks. Can't speak for Deonte Banks. I don't know who that is. But this...
I'll tell you who it is. It's someone we're not going to fucking draft, I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
What a joke. Okay, so here, a few problems. The idea of Tyree Wilson, who you could make an argument could be this year's Trayvon Walker, going at 5 doesn't upset me. It doesn't. What upsets me is the idea that Seattle would pass on Jalen Carter when they need interior help.
And how
that's a joke, number 1.
How the hell do you take Deonte Banks over Christian Gonzalez, the pick after?
How does Keely Ringo drop to 22?
And Keely Ringo's still there.
It's not happening, okay, number 1. The one thing I do
Wait,
like...
where's Joey Porter?
10 to the
10th.
Eagles.
Yeah, that's a really good pick for the Eagles.
They already have a loaded cornerback.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to draft one first
they
round.
can't pay them all.
Unless they let Bradbury go.
No, this is great. No, for Philly...
I like the pick,
if
but
I'm
I don't
a Philly
think...
fan,
No,
I get hard on this mock draft. I could get off to this. I could.
It would be a good pick, but
you're selling me. If I'm a Philly fan, I go to the Super Bowl. I lose a few players on defense. You give me Joey Porter. You give me Bijan Robinson at the end of the draft. Oh God!
Oh, I didn't even see Bijan at that.
Oh God! Sprinkle it all over me,
yeah,
Daddy.
Eagles.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's not even fair.
The Titans taking another
So
wide receiver.
I think the Eagles win this mock draft. The Lions blow it at pick 18. That's a joke. I'm sorry. To trade from 19 to 3, which the Buccaneers did, you would have to give up your first-round pick, which they did, a future first, another future first, another future first.
Your mother, your father.
Your father, your stepson that you kind of just started liking, along with your Rolls Royce. And maybe they would consider it.
Yeah, maybe they would consider it.
Because, honestly, nobody even really likes your mom. So it's a hard sell for them. But you got to address the cap issues.
And am I crazy or am I shocked? Because I am shocked. Jordan Addison went before Quentin Johnston. I mean, like 3 or 4 picks.
I don't even give a shit.
There's stuff about this mock draft
care.
that I just don't understand.
I don't care. You can sell me on Johnston, by the way, being projected top 10, I think is a reach. All right, this is a defensive draft. Go draft a quarterback if you don't need defense. That's it. That's your top 10. I love this for the Eagles. I even like what the Cowboys do at 26. Love what the Ravens get at 22. That's all dandy.
The Giants got Jackson.
The Panthers selecting Anthony Richardson at 9 is why people should burn in hell. But, again, I don't want to label him Malik Willis. I'm not doing that.
I love that the Packers went Michael Mayer.
It's not a bad pick, honestly. Honestly. No. Let's be fair. They don't have any weapons.
They got. This is assuming they're going to let Robert Tonyan just walk for nothing. That's fine. You draft Michael Mayer.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
If I'm a Packer fan, I don't hate that.
But still, man.
But from the Lions' perspective, let's walk through the top 5. You can sell me on the Colts trading up. That makes sense to me. You can't sell me on the Bucs trading up. So I find that irresponsible, irrelevant. I think Jalen Carter goes 3 to the Cardinals. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud 1 and 2. I could live with it.
Yeah.
Number 4, Will Anderson. Yeah, probably to Chicago. Tyree Wilson, in that scenario that Jalen Carter isn't on the board. Yeah, you could sell me. I just don't see how Carter falls, man. I don't.
I was going to say, you could see the Seahawks taking Tyree Wilson over Jalen Carter. Like, Jalen Carter's the best player on multiple draft boards. That's what I'm not understanding. And then, again, Tyree Wilson could be a great player. It's just the Jalen Carter thing. If he's there at 6, I think Brad Holmes full sprints to the podium to take him. But still, I don't know. This mock draft is weird.
I would love 6.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I would figure out a way to trade up from 18 to 15 and get Devon Witherspoon. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I will be very hurt if I have to show up to the show on Friday and Joey Porter Jr. was taken in the top 10. It's going to break my heart.
We're going to have this conversation soon. Because that's one of the things I want to talk about is looking at the corner prospects sitting at 6. If you trade back, are you taking a defensive line? Okay, that's where I want to go with it. Are you taking a defensive line? Are you taking the corner at 18? Or are you taking the best corner?
If somehow
you have the pick of the litter, everybody.
Somehow the Lions can trade from 6 to 9, 10, or 11.
Best corner available.
No, Joey Porter Jr. The only option.
That is your best corner available. So I get it.
Joey Porter Jr.
I don't hate it.
And then at 18, you can draft Gabby, you can draft Broder, you can draft your mother, you can do a line of cocaine with the pick for all I care. Please, God, get a corner.
Need one.
Now, you want to sell me on Christian Gonzalez at 18? All right, fine. We can have that conversation. I get it. Hell of a prospect.
But
a lot of intangibles.
But
give me Joey Porter Jr.
And because corner is such a need on this team that I don't think it's worth it to wait and take who's there at 18. I think you got to at least be the. No, I don't think you should take one at 6. If Jalen Carter's there, obviously that's the pick. But if you could trade back and you're sitting at 9, 10, yeah, you take the best corner available. And then who's ever there at 18, you take them. But it would just be a less ideal scenario if you're picking at 18 and you kind of just take the corner that's left, especially when it's such a position of need. That's kind of the part I'm struggling with, but we'll see. I'll love if we had Carter at 6 and Christian Gonzalez at 18.
You could sell me on that only because of Jalen Carter.
Right. That's the big one. I mean, if you have
I don't think is going to happen.
If you walk away with those 2 players, man, yeah, Brad Holmes. Yeah, I
don't think it's going to happen. But thank you, CBS. The Detroit Lions apparently are getting Jalen Carter, so I have to
get a round of applause.
Tip the cap. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Wow.
But what we do not appreciate is you making the Philadelphia. I think a Philadelphia Eagles fan made that, or somebody that wants to see the Eagles win back-to-back Super Bowls. What a fucking draft for the Eagles. Joey Porter at 10. Bijan Robinson at 31. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Do you guys hate, by the way, the Packers drafting Michael Mayer? I don't hate that.
I don't. Well,
anybody?
Okay, are you saying you don't hate it or do you love it? Because
I don't hate it. I know that. At 15, I'm kind of in a dead zone. I have my corners. Yeah. I have linebackers. I have a decent front 7. Maybe I could go O-line, but it's not changing my life right away at pick 15.
Yeah, I mean,
I could bring in Michael Mayer, who Let's say I have Jordan Love. Well, Christian Watson.
Could be your safety blanket.
Aaron Jones.
Right.
Now we're cooking. Michael Mayer, tight end. Taking a tight end at 15 is a lot less stupid than taking a tight end at 8. I don't know if you guys remember, Eric Ebron was selected 8. Oh, excuse me, I meant T.J. Hawkinson. Sorry, same player, but different names. What are you gonna do?
Mike,
I get confused all the time between.
Mike, put it up one more time because I want to see who is available. Who did the Packers take Michael Mayer over? That's my.
They took him
real
over
Devon
Witherspoon, which they don't need.
No, you're right. Offensive, they need
Brian
offensive weapons.
Branch is a decent one. Love him at 20 for Seattle. That's a great pick, by the way. Seattle will have a top 10 defense if this. Oh my God, Seattle! Holy hell! Okay, so Philly and Seattle win this mock. Philly and Seattle win this mock.
Yeah.
They get an edge rusher. They get arguably the best safety in the draft. Oh, my God. How about the Giants? Jackson Smith and Jimba at 25.
I was just going to bring that up. Falling to 25, which I'm hearing more and more. He's going to fall because of probably his speed. But nonetheless, arguably the best, or if not the best, receiver last year. Not this, I guess 2 years ago would be now. That's crazy, especially if he's there at 15. Maybe you got to consider him if you're the Packers. But Michael Mayer, all right. Especially if you're not going to pay Robert Tonyan, it makes sense. Get a guy in a rookie deal, tight end that you could use. Jordan Love, I don't hate it. I think the Lions, you could say they definitely, I don't know, Deontay, who was he? Deontay something? Banks. Thank you. Deontay Banks. I got to watch film on him. I guess they haven't taken him at 18. So over Christian Gonzalez, by the way. We'll see.
What are you gonna
I
do?
don't love it, but I love the Jalen Carter pick. I do. But how likely is that?
I like this question from John Parker because I agree. If Marvin Harrison was coming out in this class, would he be the top receiver? I think he would be. No. Not only I think he would be. Marvin Harrison Jr. in this draft is a top 5 pick.
You said Marvin Harrison in this draft?
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a top 5 pick. To anybody with a fucking brain, that's who.
All right. So who in
that
this
is that is the best prospect. That is the best prospect to come out since Jamar Chase.
I don't see. Pull it up. Which team in the top 5 taking Marvin Harrison?
Chicago.
Over Will Anderson?
No
yes.
way. No.
Yes. What do you mean no way? Your fucking quarterback is thrown to my mother and my grandmother who's fucking dead.
But that's not even like a part of their game plan. They're not like a run.
Oh, that's right. They don't throw the football in the NFL anymore.
Justin
Fuck
Fields
the idea of throwing
a
the football.
running back.
Yeah,
you
did
said that.
Give them weapons. Give them weapons. I thought, I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. Why would they get a weapon?
I didn't think Jalen Hurts would work. You know what they did? They got A.J. Brown. Motherfucker looks like an MVP. I can be wrong. Justin Fields proved me wrong. Go get a fucking wide receiver for the kid.
Their defense is trash. They're not going to.
Defense is trash.
That defense is trash, though. He's right.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't say it. That defense is bad. Bad. They have Jaquan Brisker. Name me another player.
Name me another player on their offense. Name me one good player.
Darnell Mooney. David Montgomery.
You fucking said Darnell Mooney? Oh my god. Oh my Chase Claypool, Mr. fucking TikTok?
Is Darnell Mooney a bad wide receiver?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
He's not a 1, and he's not even a 2. He's not even a 2 in the NFL.
It's just more, it would be a reach to draft wide receivers.
How?
Their defense
it is the most
so
important
bad.
position offensively in the NFL right now, outside of quarterback. And it's a reach at 5 or 4, whatever the hell it is.
In this draft, it would be a reach.
This draft. Oh, God. Strike me down. Oh, God. That just triggered me.
They built their team.
The Bears would pass on a quarterback or a fucking wide receiver when their quarterback. Oh God, this is gold. This is gold to me.
It's not like you're
going to draft a pass rusher who will have zero impact. Zero impact on winning. Zero. And you know what he won't do? Your pass rusher won't make your quarterback better, Jeff.
Hold on. Bring the camera back to me. Put the damn camera on me. What did you just say? You said draft a pass rusher that'll have zero impact on winning. Repeat it. No, put the camera on Adam. I want to hear Adam say it.
Draft the Chicago Bears. We'll draft.
Say that. Pass rushers have zero impact on winning.
Will have zero impact on the team winning and will not make your quarterback better.
No, don't change it.
No,
you said,
I didn't.
Hold on.
No,
don't change it. You said we'll have zero impact on winning.
That's exactly what I said.
You said zero impact on winning.
Yes, and I continued because you caught me off and said he will not make your quarterback better either.
No, you didn't say that. You said you draft a pass rusher.
Intervene here.
That'll
yes or no?
Chat, please.
You can rewind it.
I will. Trust me.
You're
you
losing your
just
shit
said
right now.
the Chicago Bears will draft a pass rusher that'll have zero impact on winning. You didn't say zero impact on the quarterback.
Bears. Yes.
Wow, Aiden Hutchinson had an impact.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Man.
You know what Aiden Hutchinson played on? A top 5 fucking offense.
What?
I'm talking to a wall here.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about him impacting the defense. Will Anderson impact the Chicago Bears defense? Yes. End of question.
But the fact that
No. That's different.
What are you talking about?
Impact on the defense? Yeah, he'll make an impact.
Does that help them win? You know how many points the Bears gave up last? Okay. All right.
No, it won't.
Oh, yeah.
No,
we gotta go to break.
Because their quarterback's going to be dead, and he's going to be thrown to Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney.
Thanks, Gentry, keeping us on
What a
schedule.
Yeah, we gotta go to break.
Oh, God.
I like Will Anderson. He's a good player.
Okay, Jeff Iafrate, tell us about the lovely folks at Big Boy where I'll be eating lunch today.
Well, let me tell you about them, guys.
Yeah.
Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You could try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo, but how about breakfast as well? They got the stuffed potato pancakes, the lumberjack Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say. Come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports super party. Well, our super party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season. Enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
If you're like my man Mike over here and he has a tan, but he got the tan naturally. Like, I want a tan, but it's winter in Michigan. I know where to go. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, and it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan. Whoa!
Fish. What the hell is wrong with you?
I just wanted to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, that one was like a heavy metal spin-off on
in
there.
this
I was
scenario.
like, whoa, I was excited. It's Tuesday.
In this scenario, Marvin Harrison
cut
Jr.
me
is
off
coming out.
again.
Fish, mute your mic. Shut the hell up. Marvin Harrison Jr. is available. The Bears trade back to 4, right? They're not picking at 1.
Right.
Okay? You're going to sell me on the idea, which is fine, that they should draft defense. Notably, an edge rusher, notably the best edge rusher coming out this draft, you could argue. Fair? Could I also not argue Marvin Harrison would be the best wide receiving prospect to come out in this draft?
Oh, yeah, I would agree with you. He's the best wide receiver prospect to come out in the draft. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing if I'm the Bears and there's so many holes on my team.
But let me ask you
I'm going off positional value.
You hate me when I bring up Lamar Jackson. The one thing I can agree with you on, Lamar Jackson has not had any stud wide receiving help outside of Mark Andrews at tight end in all his years in Baltimore. They've had good defenses. They've had very good defenses in Baltimore.
Right.
They have a very good head coach, very well respected John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to get over the hump. Only one playoff win. It's not trending in the right direction for Baltimore right now. And they still haven't addressed the need of wide receiver.
Right.
So if you're picking at 4, not at number 1, in this scenario, the Bears trade back, and they're sitting at 4. Will Anderson is available, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is available. Why would I pass on a wide receiver who could instantly make Justin Fields exponentially better? And let's rank how important positions are, right? Because we did this last year with the Lions. Draft the cocaine. Remember this whole thing? Quarterback, wide receivers.
What?
Not in order.
Okay.
I'm giving you the most important positions.
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
Quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
In that order. Oh, excuse me, not in that order. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Those are the 4 most important positions. Now, if you draft Will Anderson, is it the end of the world? Chicago will fuck up and never be good again? No. It's not the case. You want your Aiden Hutchinson. You want your Trey Hendrickson. You want your quality pass rusher. You want your Chris Jones. You want your Aaron Donald. Of course you do. But boy, tough sell for me when I have a quarterback who I'm still trying to figure out if he's a franchise quarterback. Because you can't say that about Justin Fields right now. And I would pass on the opportunity of giving him the best wide receiver coming out. Who did this 2 years ago? The Miami Dolphins had no idea who Tua Tagovailoa was as a quarterback. Why? They had an amazing defense, and he could throw.
Defense.
He could throw to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd they draft? Jalen Waddle. Then who'd they go out and trade for the year after? Tyreek Hill. Why? We need to figure out if we're wasting our time with Tua Tagovailoa. The Bears need to figure out, are we wasting our time with Justin Fields? And if I throw him out there, Jeff, it's my preference. If I throw him out there with Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney, and no offensive line for that fact, yeah, I'm setting him up for failure. I don't care if Will Anderson, Deion, I don't give a who the hell is on defense. Well, it's not going to make my quarterback better, who's my biggest investment.
And I agree. Everything you said about Marvin Harrison Jr., I agree. So he would be the best prospect to come out of this draft. What I'm arguing is I'm looking at a Bears team, unlike the Dolphins and unlike the Ravens, who have the worst defense in the NFL. You know how many sacks they had this year? They were last in the NFL in sacks. They had 20 sacks on the year, only behind the Atlanta Falcons. So if I'm the Bears and I'm Ryan Poles, I'm looking at my team, and we're talking about positional value. Yep. Quarterback, I would argue edge rusher second, and you could start talking about offensive line, wide receiver, corner. I'm taking Will Anderson. I mean,
well, can I ask you something, Ryan Poles?
And you can have, with all the money you have available in free agency, you can fill holes.
Oh, please, go find me the fucking wide receivers available in the next 2 drafts or next 2 free agency. Wait. We're not going to go ahead. We're going to only talk about this here hypothetically. Who is open and available in free agency this year at wide receiver? Nobody. It's all Dick. Defensive line, interior, edge, corner, secondary, you name it, it's a loaded class in free agency.
Yeah, I'm not saying
you can go out and get Deron Payne, you can go out and pay somebody to play on the edge, you can go out and pay anybody, and you can go get a very good corner, you can go get Marcus Peters if you want. You can fill a lot of holes with that money on the defense. Again, hypothetically, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves because, one, this is not happening. So I'm not trying to get too worked up about it, but I find it asinine. I do. That we're just going to brush it off for an edge rusher when the Lions were in a completely different situation. The Lions had Amon-Ra St. Brown emerging. The Lions had gotten DJ Chark. Let's backtrack a little bit. You needed an edge rusher just like the Bears do, 100%. You know what the Bears have that the Lions didn't have last year? Money. The Bears can go out in free agency and fill that void. You can't do that.
I know, but a talent, and again, there's not really an argument.
He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm not sitting here saying he's not what we think he is, but my point is, we can make the same argument for each player. Your argument is, well, you can't go sign a free agent wide receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr. Sorry about that. But my argument could be, well, are you going to find on a rookie deal a guy like Will Anderson Jr.? I mean, we could go back and forth with this all day. It's just the only difference is I see the defense needing a lot more help. Fix the defense. I get your point, but, man, you got to start somewhere. And to me, I'm taking the best player in this draft, and you could argue was before last season.
Let's remove Marvin Harrison from the conversation.
Yeah, because his argument doesn't even, I mean, it's not going to happen.
The Bears are picking at 1.
Right.
They can't trade back. What do you do?
Picking at 1 and they can't trade back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Jalen Carter or Will Anderson.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
On board. No problem. By the way, I just want a friendly reminder to all you Chicago Bears fans, if I may. Good morning. It's 8:54 in the morning on a beautiful Tuesday morning, February 7th. And you essentially gave away a first-round pick for Chase Claypool. From the bottom of my heart, Chicago. Thank you. Thank you. And go fuck yourselves. Every single one of you.
I still can't believe that, too. Because Miami doesn't have a first-round pick, right?
No, they got taken away. So there's only 31 first-round picks.
So they would have been it technically would have been a first-round pick.
It's technically a first-round pick.
Oh, my gosh, man. Yeah, actually, second thought, I don't want to be Ryan Poles. Take that off of me. That's a bad look. I don't know. He's in it. I'm interested to see what the Bears do. All this money, all these assets.
And I'm picking at one, man. I might take a quarterback. Move Justin Fields to running back.
You keep saying this, and it's not like you're not even joking at this point.
Speaking it into existence.
You're being for real right now. Take Justin Fields, make him Derrick Henry, 6'3" running back, put him like
joking,
20 pounds on him.
Because whoever you draft is going to walk into a horrible situation. No offensive line,
right.
No wide receivers, David Montgomery and Justin Fields as his running backs. Yeah, it's not going to work.
If I'm Chicago, I'm cool with Justin
What
right
makes
now.
Justin Fields so good is his ability to run as a quarterback.
Absolutely.
He's not a running back. I'm joking, obviously. Oh, God.
But they got to get him some weapons, though. You're right.
They do.
They also got to get him a
protect them.
defense that can bail
They
him
got
out.
to spend money on the offensive line, and they threw away their draft capital on Chase Claypool. Congratulations.
Jesus.
Just remember, Detroit, you used to operate like this. Remember. Bob Quinn used to operate like this. Martin Mayhew. Matt Millen. We live this. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
So, Chicago? Enjoy. I hope you suck for the next 10 years. I hope you suck for the next 10 years. Having said that, look, we agree the four most important positions in football: quarterback, a left tackle, an edge rusher, and a wide receiver.
I agree.
Right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's our philosophy. Mm-hmm. That's why we were, I don't want to say dead on last year, but we were pretty fucking dead on last year with a lot of the offseason talk, especially in the draft.
That's how we drafted, based off those positions.
And it really worked out that way. Having said that, why does that matter? Well, if we're going to argue about Will Anderson and Marvin Harrison Jr., or whoever the next edge rusher is next year, alongside Marvin Harrison Jr., okay. Well, doesn't it matter what my situation is? Right? Because, next year, for example, the Houston Texans are picking 3rd or 4th overall. Hypothetical. They just came off a year where they had a top 20 defense, year 1 DeMeco Ryans. Bryce Young had an okay rookie season. He's still throwing to Brandon Cooks and my mother. Are you pulling the trigger on Marvin Harrison in the top 3, top 4? No hesitation.
I'd have to see who's there, but I would assume, yeah.
If he's there.
Yeah.
Regardless of any position. You're taking a wide receiver for your quarterback, no?
To me,
that's like an instant, yes.
Yeah.
But then it could be a different scenario where it's actually a bit more challenging, right? Like Seattle. You got wide receivers.
Right.
Well, Tariq Woolen was really nice this year. We got some players that we drafted. If we had Tyree Wilson this year or Jalen Carter, boy, our defense just gets so much better. And maybe we can compete with the Niners and the Rams and the Eagles and all the... Right? It changes. And you go to another team with a young quarterback. Quarterback that's going to be entering his 3rd season. What do you do? Do you get him the wide receiver and say, we're all in? Or do you fix the defense? Well, it depends on your cap room. It depends on the picks you have. All that does matter. Love you, Jeff.
I love you, too. Even though I hate you sometimes.
I know. I hate myself, too, to be honest with you. Honestly, I wake up some mornings, look in the mirror, I'm like, God damn it.
No, don't do that.
It's like my ticket to hell's already booked. I already got complaints about yesterday's ending of the show.
What?
Did you really?
Yeah. Hey, you can't raise your kids like that. That is so offensive. Oh my God.
I actually tried to have you backpedal during the show, and you.
I don't backpedal. I say what I mean.
No, he does not.
I mean what I say.
Oh, I know. Well, I was.
And if they don't like your fish, I got 2 balls. They can suck on either one.
I mean,
all right.
I have a baseball bat, so.
And I got balls. All right. We'll be back. When do we get back? Detroit Pistons trade deadline scenarios. KD, not so realistic, but Jeff is going to walk us through his 3 best or worst case scenarios for the Detroit Pistons. We'll do that coming up next, but before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Let me tell you about them. Swiss Insurance. Many businesses choose a New Year's Day effective date, but you can still get in on Swiss Insurance. They can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you will not be disappointed. Mark at SwissINS.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at the Monroe Street Midway, downtown, all winter long. What the hell are you waiting for? Family, friends, take them down, drink some
What are you
beautiful
waiting
coffee.
for?
Well, I don't want to take you, actually.
I didn't say me. I just said you go by yourself.
I've
or
already
with your
taken
family.
my wife and the little shithead.
Okay, well go again. How do you not?
Wait, who is that?
My nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, he said his
Who,
nephew.
who, by the way, is becoming more and more annoying.
How old is he?
Gives me like the
How-
death stare
how-
every once in a while whenever I see him.
How old is he?
Gets mad at me. Yeah. I think
Wow.
he's like, oh, that guy's going to hell. Probably should
How-
stay away from him.
How old is he?
6 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
6
that,
months. He's looking at you, and you're confused while he's looking at you.
yeah, that makes sense.
You're like, this kid, something's wrong with this kid.
That makes sense.
He's looking at me.
Oh God.
Jesus. All right. Well,
He probably knows what you said yesterday.
okay.
So
All right, midway minute's over.
Yeah, it's completely over with. Okay, so let's get to the juice here.
you should head down there. It's a great time.
You should shut the fuck up so Jeff can talk. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Thursday is the NBA trade deadline, and you see, not with the Kyrie move, things are going to get busy. Pistons, I do think, will be in play, probably selling, to be honest with you, at the deadline. And I want to run through some possible scenarios. These aren't scenarios that I endorse, but these are scenarios that could happen. And I want to talk about my thoughts on it and get Adam's thoughts on it too. And the first one, which, if we're ranking players on the Pistons most likely to be traded, I think #1 for me, if we're taking Nerlens Noel out of it, because that's the obvious one, he hasn't played. It's been mutually agreed he's probably going to get traded. To me, it's Saddiq Bey. I think Saddiq Bey, if we're talking Bojan, Saddiq, whoever, Alec Burks, to me it's Saddiq Bey that's most likely to be traded for a couple reasons. Bojan's up there too, but they've already came out and said, Bojan, we see him a part of our future. Bojan's echoed that as well. I think there's a real shot. So teams are obviously going to be inquiring about Saddiq. You've already seen the Knicks are interested, and you could probably get a first-round pick for him, maybe, and something else. But I want to throw this scenario out in the chat. You guys can react to it and tell me what you think, yes or no, if you're Troy Weaver. Let's say the Knicks call you and offer you your first-round pick for Saddiq Bey. What do you do? And and if I had to give my honest opinion on it, I don't think trading Saddiq by the deadline does anything for me. I think he's still a player you can deal in the offseason. I mean, this season, you stink. The Pistons stink. There's no reason. I mean, if you want to sell him now, that's fine. But even if you keep him, you're still going to stink. Like, trading Saddiq you don't have to trade him to tank. You're already tanking as it is. My suggestion would be wait till the offseason and maybe you can deal Saddiq. But I want your opinion on it as well. Would you trade Saddiq to, and the team, I guess, doesn't really matter, but I just said the Knicks to say him. Would you dump Saddiq for a first-round pick?
No.
You wouldn't?
First-round picks are kind of irrelevant
But
in the NBA.
could I argue that first-round picks are now
assets
in
for
order
Troy
to get
Weaver to acquire other players?
to get
Yes.
superstars?
At the end of the day, if you're going to sell me on, which you are, I wouldn't say you, but Bojan Bogdanovic, Troy Weaver, from their words, that you're going to sell me on a big move this offseason outside of your draft pick, well, you're going to have to acquire some capital. You're going to have to acquire some friendly contracts, and you're going to have to dish them out. And it starts with trading Saddiq Bey. I would agree. You got to trade him. I don't think it's a must before the deadline. But I'm disappointed. I thought you'd open up a little stronger. I'm not sure if you even have this on your list.
Who is it?
How feasible is it that the Pistons can trade Dwayne Casey?
Well,
I'm being an ass right now.
I was going to say,
probably...
in that scenario, you need a team to take him. So I think. I mean,
there's a lot of teams that want to suck intentionally.
Okay.
So, he's the perfect
and
fit.
again, Dwayne, now you're making me.
Just move on. I'm joking.
All right. God,
I'm joking. The market for Dwayne Casey, you'd have to pay a team like $15 million and send them a player that's pretty decent just to acquire him.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Oh,
Gosh,
God.
now you threw me off.
I'm joking.
Trade
Continue.
Casey
Continue.
for a first-round pick. That'll be all right. All right. Moving on. Number 2, another scenario, second player that I could see traded, most likely to be traded, Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, percentage-wise, say what you want. I wouldn't put it too high. I think the only way you trade Bojan is if Troy gets an offer he simply cannot refuse, which could happen, especially now with the Kyrie domino falling. We'll see what happens to OG Anunoby. If you're a contender and you think Bojan will help you get over the top, teams are going to be willing to pay whatever for him. So the Pistons' asking price for him is a first-round pick and a good young player. Now, young doesn't mean 20 years old, but it could be 26, 27, whatever it is. If you're Troy Weaver, and chat, you feel free to chime in on this, would you take that offer? If someone comes to you tomorrow or Thursday before the deadline, the end date, and they say, hey, I'll take Bojan, here's a first-round pick, and here's a good young player, what do you say?
Oh, I say yes.
Okay. Because that's
again, that's why I got so mad that day when Bojan came out and said, I was promised I'd be a core player on a great team next year, and that Troy Weaver was going to make a great signing, big time. Bro, what the... Who? Like you say, who's going to be available that you can trade for? Go find me the scenario. Who? You can trade for DeAndre Ayton? No, I like Jalen Duren more.
No.
You want Devin Booker? You're going to have to give up your whole franchise.
Yeah.
So who?
Yeah.
Who? Yeah, I'm with it. What's a old Bojan Bogdanovic next year going to do? He doesn't play a lick of defense. He jacks up 22, 23 shots a game.
He can shoot.
He can shoot.
Maybe the shot attempts have to go down, but he can still shoot.
Yeah, but he's not a catch and shoot shooter.
Yeah, he
is.
He's
well, not on this team. On a good team, yes, he'll play his role. But on this team, he's creating his own shot. He's attacking the basket, mid-range.
But you think with Cade, Ivy, the two playing...
You would think.
Yeah, Bojan would have to kind of slide at the corner for me.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. He's gonna turn into that. I think Bojan either way. I went back and forth with this. The only argument I could make for trading Bojan has nothing to do with him as a player. It has everything to do with his age and the timeline.
I don't think he's going.
And the timeline for success. Because let's say, Bojan is what? I think he's 34 years old. I have to check just to make.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, 34 years old. He'll turn. Or no, excuse me. He's 33. He'll turn 34 in about a month, I believe. So he's 34 years old next season. Let's say in 2 seasons you're really contending for the playoffs. Okay, he'll be 35. And again, you could still get some production out of him, but at the same time, is that a guy that you could trade right now at max value? Yeah, you could. So I wouldn't hate it either way, but let's just say they do it. I wouldn't hate it at all.
He's insanely effective.
He is. He's efficient.
And he's a guy you want on your team. I don't think you trade him, even if you get a first-round pick offer. You know why? Because basketball, in a lot of ways, is about making shots when things aren't going your way. And I think he's your best shot maker on the team currently, even when Cade comes back. So that's a tough one.
And I think Troy's in a great position right now because you have a ton of intriguing players. Like Pistons fans said, Pistons have named their price for him, and they're not going to sell anyone a discount. You're absolutely correct. They have an asking price. If you can't hit it, okay, we'll keep him. And that's a great position to be in. You're not desperate to sell him. He likes to be here. He extended him. So either way, whatever happens with Bojan, I think you're going to be happy. Now, how would you feel if the Pistons made no moves and maybe just traded Nerlens Noel? I still think it's a guarantee he's going to be traded. There's not a doubt in my mind. Maybe you get a second-round pick for him. But let's say the Pistons make no moves. They keep Sadiq. They keep Bojan. They're not really aggressive at the trade deadline. I'm going to be honest with you. That's my ideal scenario. Because I don't think there's really much to be aggressive about unless, again, like I said, if teams are offering you something you cannot refuse for Bojan or Sadiq, 100% go do it. But if not, keep them.
Can I sell you on one player?
You're going to stink either way.
Can I sell you on one player?
Sell me.
Comes to my mind. I really like him. Would love to have him in Detroit. I don't know how they'd make it work. Cam Johnson. Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, he's going
to be a free agent. And he's going to want to get paid. And given the situation you're in now, you can kind of afford to overpay. But he is a role player. Right? He's going to be your number 3, your number 4 at times. But the dude shoots, 45% from 3 this year? He is the definition of a shooter, and shooters are what this team needs. Because Ivy's not a polished shooter. Cade Cunningham's not a polished shooter yet. They had a lot of years ahead of him. Bojan Bogdanovic is your best shooter. You need more of those.
Right.
You don't need less. So whether it's Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, whoever the hell ends up coming to Detroit, who knows where they pick? I think you need shooters, man. I think you need shooters that can space the floor and allow Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham to work the basket, distribute, dish out, and have shooters on the ready like a Bogdanovic, like a Cam Johnson. And if I have to pay Cam more than I want, damn it, I'm going to do it. Because I can actually afford to right now.
Mm-hmm. Another one, Grant Williams. I mean, that's another name I've been echoing to. I mean, me and Sean have. I mean, the guy, not only is he a good defender, and he knows his role. That's important. Cam Johnson, another guy who just comes in, excels at his role. But he can be a vocal guy on the floor, calling guys out. I mean, I love what Grant Williams brings to the Celtics. That'd be another guy. The Pistons have a lot of options this offseason. I mean, they got to improve clearly. You're getting Cade back. They'll improve by default slightly. But if you can go out and make moves, let's see who they draft, top 3, top 4, whoever. Maybe you have number 1. Who knows? God forbid. To me, there's still plenty to look forward to. I get it's a very you're in a slump right now. It's tough to tune into the Pistons games. I completely understand it. Even watching last night, playing the Celtics without Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart, and you get smoked at home. I mean, it's
well. I mean, let's be optimistic.
But
let's be optimistic.
This is where we're at.
Do we envision the Pistons starting next season with Dwayne Casey as their head coach?
No, I don't.
Then so. we're already 15 wins better.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
We're already giving up 15 less points a game. Day 1. Now, am I being dramatic? Yes. Am I being mean towards Dwayne Casey? Probably a little bit, maybe.
But I think that's probably already written on the wall.
So I got that in line. I'm feeling good about that. If I can go get a Cam Johnson, sweet. If I can move Livers, if I can move Sadiq, because to me, Sadiq Bey, I don't know why he's regressed, especially shooting the ball, but I need shooters. Yeah. If I can upgrade and get rid of those two, I'm feeling good about that. And again, I don't know who you're going to draft. I don't know where you're going to pick right now. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. I can't even entertain the idea because I don't know. What I do know is I have Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, who will be my primary ball handlers and distributors.
Yes.
Cool. What do I need around them? Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench hitting threes. That'd be nice. Jalen Duren, offensive boards. Getting in action with Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham, attacking the basket. Love it.
Right.
Okay, well, those are 3 players. Who are the other 2? Hypothetically, Cam Johnson, shooter on the ready. Bojan Bogdanovic, shooter on the ready. Oh my goodness, the spacing.
Yeah.
You can sell me on that team, that lineup. Oh, woo! Now we're talking.
Now we're talking playing.
We might be talking cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole... And again, this team simply, I mean, if you want to put it very simple, they need athleticism at the wing position. They do.
Well, that's a different part. Now we get to depth. Because you address the shooters. Well, one of my shooters, Bogdanovic, doesn't play a lick of defense.
Right.
Cam does. Cade, Ivey, they need to develop their defensive play. Cade more so polished than Ivey is right now. And then Duren is a rim protector. He's unbelievable. You have Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench who can guard 4. He can guard the 4 and 5. Do I want to say he can guard the 3 at times if needed? Emergency, I think he could. I don't think he's excellent at it.
Right.
I don't think he's a top 5 defender, but he's got some upside. Well, who else is playing defense on my team? Because that's about it. Killian Hayes? Well, he's about to throw a tantrum for getting, 15 minutes a night right now? I don't know if he's going to be here. Now we're talking about what you mentioned, which you're spot on about, which is wing and D players. You need them. You need them so bad. Even if they only shoot 38% from 3 and take 2 threes a game. That's all I need. 35%. Fuck it. Can you play defense? Because Lord knows that's what this team needs.
That's got to be a requirement. Like when you come in for a free agency meeting, before you enter Troy's office, there's a little thing that says, can you play defense? You check yes or no. If you can't, just turn your ass around. Because if you can, all right, you can walk right in. We'll talk to Troy. We'll see what numbers we can come up with. Defense is number 1. That's why Grant Williams, Cam Johnson, there's going to be some names that are going to be floating around, but I can't wait. I think it'll be an exciting offseason. As much people as they're upset as they should be right now, I still think there's plenty to look forward to. I know I sound crazy, but that's the reality.
All right. We'll take a break. When we get back, I want to continue some speculation on what's going to happen in the NBA sooner than later. And
by
I think we need to accept... Go ahead.
LeBron plays tonight, 36 points to break Kareem's record. All I'm saying.
Honestly, that record, when it gets broken, I'll take it and then I'll wait. Because I want to see it and believe it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when we're going to have an uncomfortable conversation. It's just the reality. Having said that, when we get back, I want to talk about Killian Hayes for a bit. Also, some notable trade deadline moves. Kevin Durant, where he could be on the move to.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 9:30, we'll get to Jameson Williams. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Planet Fitness. Sign up today, $10 a month. The hell are you waiting for? Get to the gym, sign up today, planetfitness.com, or visit one of their many Metro Detroit locations. Your fitness is essential, home of the judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness, let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say. Come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports super party. Well, our super party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season. Enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Shut the hell up, Fish. Shut the hell up. Not a word, mute your mic. Don't... Nothing. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com, as always.
Can I go home?
Shut the hell up.
Fish, what's your rebuttal?
No rebuttal.
Well,
Shut the hell up
I
and
can't
mute your
talk,
mic.
so I just tried to do quick sentences like, can I go home and...
Mute your mic.
Relax.
Mute your mic.
Because I'm stressed
Mute it.
out right.
Enough. Killian Hayes.
Oh, Killian Hayes.
What do I do?
I do like that he's coming off the bench. It's like grooming him for next year if he's here. But
I
don't
see
mind
a
him.
fan base.
I don't mind him being here. I don't.
Yeah, I don't mind him being a bench player either.
Because I think he'll be cheap.
Because I think that's what he is.
What are you going to pay him? Yeah,
well,
right.
you think that, but that's not maybe what he wants.
Well, that's
Maybe
fine.
he
Here's
wants
the door. Go see it.
Well, I know you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. But, you know, guys, sometimes in life, whether it's, it doesn't have to be an abusive relationship. It could just be a bad relationship.
Yeah,
You're just not happy.
I don't think it ever has to. It doesn't never.
Well,
have
it
to
could be, right? But there are some people that struggle to leave a good relationship, a bad one, or an abusive one. And that's kind of like what life is now. Fish is a perfect example. Fish is in an abusive relationship, and for some reason he just can't leave.
Keeps coming back.
He has to leave every day.
He's a bad wife.
And where I'm going with this is when you're in this type of relationship, you try everything to justify why you should stay in.
That's a good point, man. Yeah, and
you know,
kind of failing right
sometimes
now.
what you got to do is just let go and start new.
Oh,
it's so hard to do. It's so much easier said than done. But I feel like we're trying so hard with not Sadiq Bey, excuse me, Killian.
Are you implying that you're trying hard with me?
Shut up, Fish. We're trying so hard to make it sound like it's working, to make it look like it's working with Killian Hayes, when in the reality it's not. It just isn't. And he's a big miss. He's a huge miss at pick number 7. And yes, it hurts that Tyrese Halliburton was available and went shortly after. Yes, that hurts a lot. But beyond the point. It's not about regretting what happened in the past. What happened, happened. He's the player he is, move on. Trying to justify a player in his third year in the NBA who's giving you 10 and 5, jacking up 10 shots a game, with less than average shooting percentages, who does play good defense, I will give him that. We just got to stop trying to justify the pick. You know, we do this with Akuta now. You try doing it with Ebron. You try doing it with Hawkinson. You'll never be able to justify it. Never. No matter what. It's a miss. Sometimes you just got to look at your relationship, as fucked up as it is, as intimidating, as scary as what's next after maybe. You have to go for it. Because it's a fucking lot better than what it is currently. That I can guarantee you. And trying so hard to lie to yourself, to say that it's going to work, or it could, or this, or that, is only delaying the inevitable, which is disappointment. Am I off, Jeff?
No, and I get where you're coming from. I think the difference is in the NBA and the NFL, you can find superstars late in the draft. You can find superstars, second, third round. You can find superstars at the end of the first round. And same with the NBA. You'll see at times Jordan Poole is a pretty good player. Found him at the end of the first round. But the difference is also, you look at where Killian Hayes was drafted, and if you want to say Tyrese Halliburton, I'll agree with you. I mean, he's clearly the better player. Cole Anthony, who's drafted 15 that year, clearly the better player. But if you start really, looking around where Killian Hayes was drafted, and you go through the NBA and just in history in general, typically at 7, you may not always hit on a superstar. You may hit on a role player. You might hit on somebody that can play significant minutes. And now Killian Hayes, up until this year, the second half, it was looking bad. It was looking very grim. And we didn't know what the future looked like for Killian Hayes. But what he showed, I get the shooting percentages, but he's actually gotten a little better from 3. He's, like you said, he's a great defender. He's a good distributor. The shooting percentage, it's went up for the most part. I think given next year, if he's playing with better players, Cade comes back, you had some more talent, I can see Killian Hayes being in the rotation. The whole discussion over taking him over Tyrese, I mean, I get it, but I'm over that now. It's kind of like the Jeff Okuda
Well, it's
thing.
not even just him, though.
You just gotta, have him.
I'm using not only Tyrese,
right,
but he's definitely not the solution. And spending all this energy on a player who may never develop into a 7th position on an NBA bench.
Okay, Fish just darted across the studio. But the question I would ask is, if Killian Hayes, he may not be your 6th man, might not even be your 7th man.
The hell are you guys doing?
But if he's your 8th man, and he's coming off, he's your backup point guard, and he's giving me what he's giving me this year, 9, 3, and 6 on 33% from 3. He's got to get that up, obviously. But what he's doing defensively, I would take that. I'm not, as much as you're going to surround this team with more shooting, I don't have a problem with Killian Hayes coming off my bench. I think that's perfectly okay, but we'll see. We'll see what he... I don't see him asking for that much. I think he'll be a cheap player to retain, and on top of that, he's still young. Like, this is his 3rd season. So, again, I'm not in the camp of getting rid of him. He's a problem. I'm far from that. I think if you traded Killian to a contender, he would still see, depending on who their backup point guard is, obviously, he would still see minutes. Like, he's a contributor. But we'll see. We'll see what the future looks like. But I'm not mad at all if Killian Hayes is a part of it.
All right, Kevin Durant. I think we all agree. Would love to have him in Detroit. Unrealistic. Okay, cool. Moving on. I'm going to make the case that the Golden State Warriors should make an all-in effort to trade for Kevin Durant. Trade Andrew Wiggins. Trade Kuminga. Trade Wiseman. Trade a few first-round picks. And go get KD. If it takes more than that, add more. You know why, Jeff? KD's not leading Brooklyn anywhere.
You're right about that.
You can't win with KD when he's the guy.
Tell Joe Tsai that. Guy, the owner of the Nets, he came out, they want to build around KD.
Yeah, good luck.
Which, again, KD.
If I'm KD...
one of the best players on the planet Earth. But
if I'm KD, I have my offer sheet here. I hand it to Joe Tsai. Trade me back to Golden State. That's where I belong. They allow me to just play basketball. I don't have to be a leader. Yeah. I don't have to be vocal on and off the court. I can just show up to work, do my job, be very good at it, be one of the best at it, and win championships. And with Steph Curry out for a month, get rid of everybody, bring in KD, Him, Clay, and Draymond will get you through the next few weeks. Steph comes back, and you're the favorite in the West.
Especially if they end up, parting ways with Draymond. We'll see what his future looks like.
They'll pay him.
But regardless, imagine that luxury bill, that tax bill. You got Steph on a super max, Clay on an extension. You got Draymond on a fat contract, and KD coming in on his contract.
I love this.
I
love this. Emerald Eyes says, KD doesn't want to go back to Golden State. Lol, stop it. Why? Why not? Because he's a failure everywhere he's been outside of Golden State.
Yeah.
And his worst decision was leaving. Because you know who won the championship last year without him while he was home watching? And his boy Kyrie was fighting the world and the earth is flat? Oh, Kevin Durant, who made a poor decision. Sometimes in life, guys, and we all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't double down on them. Kevin Durant made a mistake. He got in his feelings and left Golden State the first time. They continued on. They won without him. He's lost. He just lost his buddy that he invested his whole future in, who didn't even play much and wasn't even available for the playoffs. He lost him. Time to go back. Yo, Dre, Clay, Steph, my bad. You guys want to work together again? Yeah, man, absolutely. Come to Golden State. We'll win another title. Hell, we might win back-to-back. We might three-peat. We might three-peat.
I think Chuck put it perfectly in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. He said, KD is the best Robin of all time. I don't think he's your Batman/Superman.
I don't need him to be my Batman.
You talk about what they had in Brooklyn. Think about this. It's so you had James Harden, Kyrie, and KD. You could argue probably 3 Robins, to be honest with you. I mean, Kyrie, best years was as a Robin. James Harden,
being LeBron
probably
James
a Robin.
is hard.
Yeah.
Hey guys, FYI, being LeBron James is hard. Being Steph Curry is really hard. Being Michael Jordan's very hard. Tim Duncan, very hard. Kobe Bryant, very hard. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce at the time. Dwayne Wade, very hard. Shaquille O'Neal, very hard. It's hard. It's so hard. Charles Barkley didn't win a chip.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson didn't win a chip. Patrick Ewing didn't win a chip. David Robinson didn't win until Tim Duncan showed up. It's hard. It's hard to be that guy. It's so hard. Magic, Mike, Isaiah. It's hard. Tough to be one of those guys. And KD just isn't. He's an excellent player. He's infinitely better than Scottie Pippen ever was. You could argue Kevin Durant's the greatest Robin of all time. You can argue however you want. It doesn't matter. Kevin Durant's one of the 12, 15 best players in the NBA ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Ever. Why does it matter? Go apologize. Don't double down on your mistake. You made a mistake by leaving Golden State. They won without you. Go win again. Go get that 3rd title you've been chasing. Call it a career. And we'll remember you as a top 15 player who's one of the most offensively gifted players ever. That's how we'll remember you. As a champion, 3-time champion potentially. Don't be the guy that sat around and wasted his career in Brooklyn because you didn't want to acknowledge your mistakes. When we get back, Jameson Williams, will he live up to the hype next season? I don't know. What is the hype? What are the expectations next year for Jameson Williams? We'll get to that coming up next. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends, over at Cousins Maine Lobster. Whew. Scan the QR code, find out where their food trucks are, and order my favorite go-to dish, the lobster tacos and the clam chowder soup. You won't regret it. If you want to add some tots on the side, those are very good as well, but I keep it simple. Lobster tacos, clam chowder soup, and my lunch has been made. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com today, scan the QR code, find out where the food trucks are, treat yourself to a great lunch. We'll be right back for some Jameson Williams.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Shop, eat, and play all winter long downtown Detroit. Winter bumper cars, puck putt, indoor arcades, foods and drinks, you name it, they've got it at the Monroe Street Midway. Check it out. Take your family, take your friends, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Jameson Williams. Let's talk about Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, phenomenal talent. Lions traded up to get him. When available this year, my goodness, when he touched the ball, it was magic. It was explosiveness. It was unbelievable. It was so fun to watch. That touchdown that was called back up against the Packers, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So the what could be. So what are the expectations year 2? And can he live up to it? And I would say the expectations are that Jameson Williams catches 60, 67 balls and gets about 1,100 yards. Probably 5-6 touchdowns. I think that's realistic. I don't think he's a 100-catch guy in the NFL. Now, given the way the Lions offense runs, that could very easily be not the case. He could be a Jalen Waddle. He could be a Tyreek Hill. Massive production, massive targets, all underneath, short, using his speed. That's fine. But in this offense, which doesn't really favor anybody, I think year 2, give me 67 catches, 1,118 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's
what I'm going to go for.
And that's fair given the fact that every time he touched the football, went for 40 yards.
Well, if you did that math, you'd get 3,000 yards receiving.
Right. So he touched the ball how many times? It was, I'm going to make sure I'm correct here. I know the Green Bay
three
times
total.
For 40. And one of them was in the run game, if you guys remember that as well.
End around, correct?
Yeah, at the end around. He exploded for another 40 yards. So Jameson Williams, if we talk about potential, he has the potential to be one of the better receivers, I do believe, in the league because of how quick his speed, his route running. I mean, he has pretty much the entire package. Now, playing behind Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's your number 1 wide receiver, if you bring back DJ Chark, maybe you see Jameson getting 900 yards, 850, maybe close to 1,000. Maybe he clears 1,000. It's not about the number to me. More so, it's about the rapport between Jared and him. And that's got to be established in the offseason. That's got to happen over the next couple months. And him and Jared getting together, getting that chemistry, like Amon-Ra had with Jared at second half of his first season in the NFL, Jameson can get to that. That's all I'm concerned about. If those guys are on the same page, the numbers I'm not as concerned of. Yeah, you want them to be efficient. You don't want them to drop a bunch of footballs, unlike Amon-Ra St. Brown. But it's more so just the connection. How are they using them? I'm glad Ben Johnson's back for this specific reason as well. So you have Ben orchestrating everything with Jameson. But Jameson, I do have full faith in. I don't think you're going to see this year, watching Jameson, you're like, man, we took this guy? I think it's going to be the opposite. I think it's going to be basically, confirmation of why you took him. The explosiveness. I mean, what he can do in every area. The run game, the passing game, deep downfield, short, intermediate. I mean, he checks all those boxes. So, to me, I have no concerns whatsoever. The question, will he live up to the hype? Absolutely he will. Because you have everything in place for him to succeed. You have Jared Goff, a veteran quarterback. He's not walking into Chicago with Justin Fields. You have Jared Goff, who's good enough. You have an offensive line who's going to give Jared time to throw. And you have Ben Johnson, who's drawing up these plays that have gotten productivity out of these wide receivers. Khalif Raymond got 500. What did he get, 500 yards this season? I mean, you're telling me Khalif can get 500, but Jameson can get 800, 900? Yeah, he's going to be just fine. And I think the big part of this, Adam, is the fact that you have Jared, you have Ben, you have that offensive line. Those things are the most important. Because if Ben were to leave, maybe I'd be a little concerned about how Jameson smooths in here. But now you've had a year under Ben Johnson. You have an offseason to work with Jared Goff. And this season, this is his time. We'll see what happens with DJ Chark. If DJ Chark does not resign, his production will increase, obviously. So the whole question, will he live up to the hype? I would say yes, but to me it's not entirely based on production. I think all that stuff will come. You know the talent he has, and Ben Johnson, they're going to find ways to utilize it. So no concern for me whatsoever.
All right, fair enough. No concern, I would agree. I think the biggest thing to factor in is that you got your quarterback coming off his best season in his career, you could argue. You have your offensive coordinator returning, and you're playing in an NFC that outside of who? Dallas, Philly, and the Niners. Who's really better than you? Not many. Who are the shutdown corners in the NFC? Surtain and Sauce are in the AFC.
It's a good point. Yeah.
You got a lot of
You have
freedom this
Jair
year.
in Green Bay.
Yeah, he got busted up all year. But had one good game against Justin Jefferson, but whatever. I'm just saying. I'm expecting really good things from Jameson Williams this year.
And if
go ahead.
I was going to say, if you think about it too, him and Amon-Ra, they work so well together. Like they're
so different.
Absolutely. That's probably the
Complement
other
each other.
thing. Yeah, absolutely. Like if your two wide receivers were DJ Chark and Jameson, be like, all right, both those guys have similar, positives about their game, deep downfield, what they can do, stretching the offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown and him, yeah, that's going to be a nice duo. Definitely, no doubt about it. But what were you going to say? Just wanted to add that in. And injury is important, too. Him staying healthy, obviously.
That's going to be a big thing this year.
Yeah.
I want to see how the knee looks. I think he looked fine at the end of the year. My goodness, how fast he was. He broke away from the Packers secondary players who are pretty fast themselves. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what this offense looks like over a 17-game schedule with hopefully Jameson Williams there 15, 16 of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out. Watch out. Love it. When we get back, want to wrap up a few conversations, get to Mailbag at 9:50, and then we'll call it a show. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, this is The S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out, fullingwarehouse.com. And I gotta say this too. I mean, you talk about Jameson and Jared Goff. If I'm Jameson, I'm gonna stick to Goff like a crazy ex-girlfriend. Just be around him at all times. Like if he's going to take a dump, go with him. Just bug him all day because those two need to be tied at the hip all off season, and the rest will work itself out. I'm super excited.
Welcome back to the morning show.
Thank you, Fish.
Just be all. Goff goes to bed. Just follow him in there. Just do not leave this man by himself.
I don't want to get into Jared Goff because I think he's earned his stay on the team and his future at the moment. But, guys, 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Oof.
If I just told you that stat line and told you that was your quarterback in 2022 before the season started,
yeah,
you would sit there without even a name. I would take that.
Mm-hmm.
You would take that every single season. Now, is he going to go out next year and throw for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns and 6 interceptions? No. Could he easily go out next year and throw 4,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions? Yeah. Yeah, he can. That's his career average. He can totally do that. Do I think he'll perform better? Of course I will. I've seen it. But the Jared Goff talk, who's next? Anthony Richardson. Will Levis. Trading up, trading back. I don't know what you have in your head. All I know is Jared Goff's starting quarterback next year. And next year, my only concern is how do I win the NFC North? Drafting a quarterback at 6 or 18 doesn't help me at all. And yes, you can say sometimes the NFL is about what's next. But you can't think about what's next until you've accomplished something. Getting to the wild card is nothing. Can you win your division? Can you win a playoff game? Things that the Kansas City Chiefs did when they had Alex Smith from the age of 28 to the age of 33 as their quarterback. You don't get to think about your future until you've reached a ceiling on your current. On the now. And what's the Lions' ceiling? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't. The NFC is garbage. It is at a very low point at the moment. It will get better, but it's pretty low. Got some good coaches. Few teams at the top that are completely excellent. Philly, the Niners. But the Niners need to figure out their situation at quarterback, and they can't keep all those players forever. And you're young, and you're going to be here for a while, Detroit. So which one is it? You want the future? Why? Now again, you can sell me on drafting a quarterback. You can. No problem. You can sell me. But I'm here to tell you, it's not the draft. Unless the quarterback you, and not you, fuck all of you, to be honest with you. If Brad Holmes says, this is my guy, I look at my watch that I'm not wearing at the moment. I start the timer. Cool. Let's go. That's what we're doing. Oh, we're ready? Cool. Let's go. Jared Goff started this year. Next year, I expect to win the division, and I expect to see a phenomenal quarterback quarterbacking this team. But I don't think that's going to be the case, Jeff. And sometimes Detroit, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, relax. You're going to have one of the 5-6 best teams in the NFC next year. That's a fact. Jared Goff will quarterback that team. And if Dan Campbell is the coach he was down the stretch and not the coach he was in the beginning of the year, you're going to have a lot of success. So why are you in a rush when I haven't even identified the ceiling of Jared Goff? Now, if you want to say we already know the ceiling of Jared Goff, the apex level of success, oh, that's getting to a Super Bowl. Sign me up. Even if we lose, sign me up. I'll fucking take it. Win the division. Get a bye week. Win a playoff game. 2. Get to a Super Bowl. Sign me up. If that's his ceiling in Detroit, sign me the fuck up.
Right.
For whatever heartbreak is ahead of me, sign me up. Because that was his ceiling in Los Angeles. And yes, they had an excellent defense. Yes, they had an excellent coach. But you hope that Dan Campbell can become an excellent coach. Why would you keep him if he can't be? So hopefully he's a very good coach. And you have a young defense that is so promising and will be better next year. You're getting there. Why rush? Why force your hand? You can go and move on from Jared Goff at any time, and it'll only cost you $5 million. If he sucks next year, you're going to suck. If he gets injured next year, you're going to suck. And you'll have your answer. You'll
draft a quarterback.
There you go. Now, again, if you are telling me Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Bryce Young, or C.J. Stroud, one of the 4, we'll use them as the example this morning. If you are telling me one of those 4 is the guy, I close my ears, draft him at number 6. Put in the slip. Don't waste any time. But I hope you understand the consequences of if he isn't. Because one quarterback, one, comes out every year. One. On average since 2000. Think about that. Easier to get worse at quarterback than better.
Bingo. That's what I was just about to say. I think Brad's echoed that. Certainly, if you want to say Jared Goff, he's not the future, and future meaning 5-10 years. Okay, that's fine. But there's no reason why Jared Goff right now, talking about, who's at quarterback, wouldn't want anybody else right now than Jared, right now in this position. We talk about where he ranks in the NFC, one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC, and on top of that, you get Ben Johnson back, which I think is a significant part of this, because you saw the connection those two have had, the relationship, the communication they've had between each other. Ben allowing Jared to kind of implement his own ideas into the offense, things that make him comfortable. I think that's a big part of this. So with Ben here, I'm cool with Jared Goff. I think he's fine. Last of my worries, if you want to draft a quarterback, okay, but like you just said, beware of those consequences, because if he doesn't work out, you've wasted the 6th overall pick instead of fixing your horrific defense, or a defense that needs a lot of work. So yeah, he's definitely the last of my worries. I think, Jared Goff, the conversation of Jared Goff at this point, it's like, hey, regardless of what happens next year, you just nailed it. If he stinks, you can get rid of him.
Can I ask you guys something?
And if he's hurt, you can draft a quarterback.
Do you like Josh Allen?
Oh, I love Josh Allen.
Do you like Justin Herbert?
I like Justin Herbert, yeah.
Would you love to have them quarterback your team?
I think most teams would.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just asking. Because, we've been to the same amount of Super Bowls as Josh Allen since he's been in the NFL. And we've won the same amount of playoff games since Justin Herbert's been in the NFL. Hope you know that. Guys, you have, and you know what? I said this before last season. You have what every team in the NFL would kill for. Future cap space incoming. Flexibility, a young core roster that's not going anywhere and that you don't have to pay, and you have a quarterback that's capable of winning you divisions, capable of winning you playoff games.
Yep.
Make it work. Be disappointed. I want you to be disappointed, because when you're disappointed, that means you had expectations. So how about we win the division first, win a playoff game, dare I say 2, get to a title game, and then say, hey, there's a ceiling on Jared Goff, we need to go get the next guy. Fine. No problem. But if you can't win with Jared Goff, you're not winning with a rookie quarterback. Unless you found the next guy. Which is very hard to do, it's very risky to do, and when you do, this isn't 2008, this isn't 2005, where you get to draft 4 or 5 quarterbacks and keep your job. This is the NFL, the modern NFL. And if you fuck up on drafting a quarterback, you're gone. You're gone. And you know who's on the hot seat? If he can't get Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo, Joe Douglas, who's excellent at drafting. He's done a hell of a job. You know who's on the hot seat if they can't get their quarterback situation right? Robert Saleh. So yeah, kind of don't mind Jared Goff right now.
No.
And the big win some division titles.
The big thing about is what he's making currently. It's not the worst contract, and we'll see when he gets, or if he gets re-upped. Now, if that money looks a little scary, then we can have a conversation. But as of right now, no, I got no issue with it. I don't.
All right. Let's take a break. When we get back, get all of your questions in the chat. Mailbag time. Jeff and I will answer all of them coming up next. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10-8, 7 days a week, walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. They're awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me. So, we'll be right back with Mailbag. Check them out. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Matrix Home Solution. Your go-to for any home project, looking to renovate your bathroom, your kitchen, looking to get some new cabinets installed. Whatever it is, Matrix Home Solution is your number one option. Excuse me, an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. Call 888-594-8844. My God, I almost died.
Are you okay? You gonna make it through the last 10? Okay.
I'm alive.
Okay.
I'm alive. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Mailbag time. Jeff, where do we want to start?
We'll start with our friend Jamcat asks, Adham, Jeff, Mailbag. If the offensive lineman Osiris Terrence from Florida is available at 18, would you be okay with drafting him? Getting a guard at 18? No.
Depends who you get at 16. You could sell me on it. Need a guard.
Or 6, you mean? Depends on who you get at 6.
Yeah, depends who you get at 6.
I agree.
I'm looking at corner at 18.
Am I crazy to say you could find a guard in free agency? The offensive line looked good with Evan Brown at guard, and he's solid.
You just need somebody capable.
That's
You're not
all.
looking to draft the next Orlando Pace. All right?
Right.
You already got Penei Sewell, you got Taylor Decker, you got Frank Ragnow. You're going to be just fine. Just put somebody who's competent in that spot, whether it's a draft pick or free agency.
Who gave up a mailbag? Greg asks, who gave up on Detroit more? Blake Griffin or Michael Brockers? Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin's a piece of shit.
Michael Brockers
was awesome in the community, so I'm not going to say anything
Yeah,
bad
he
about
just
him.
kind of knows his role. He's just chilling. Blake, I think, there's a lot more disdain for Blake among Detroiters, but it is what it is. If you watch the Celtics game, you know what I'm talking about. They still boo him every time he touches the ball. What do we see here? Mailbag. Let's say we trade back to 9, grab Joey Porter Jr. at 9. Would you be okay with getting Trenton Simpson at 18? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You get Joey Porter and Trenton Simpson?
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Sign me the hell up.
I am cool with that.
Who asked that question?
Jacob Strand.
Jacob. Sign me up.
Yeah.
That's pure cocaine right there. That is the definition of nailing your first round. Oh, God. Love it. Jeff, Adham, with the Chargers in serious trouble with the cap and probably cutting a few players, you think the Broncos can finish better than the Chargers? The Broncos will finish better than the Raiders. Sean Payton will make an immediate impact day one. And I'm willing to go out on a limb and say they can win 11 games just because of how good that defense is next year.
Did you see his quote where they're like, well, Russell Wilson has a personal coach.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that. It's not going to happen when I'm here. And good for him.
I love Sean Payton, man. He's the best. Gary in Grand Haven asks, Mailbag, if Goff plays well in 23 and wins the division, do you extend him for 25 and 26 at $45 million a year? No.
What makes Goff so valuable right now is I'm paying him $30 million a year. And I'm getting $42 million worth of production.
Right, but
the second I pay him that, again, am I on the cusp of a Super Bowl? Context matters. You could sell me on re-signing him.
Right.
100%. If this team is winning the division, contending a top seed, one of the 2-3 best teams in the NFC, winning playoff games, getting to the championship game, and they just need another corner, another safety, another pass rusher. They're missing something. You could sell me on that.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 years from now, I'm going to have to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown big-time money. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be approaching his deal. So is Jameson Williams entering the final year of their deal, and then you're going to have to extend them on the 5th-year option, which is going to cost you more money.
Right.
And you're going to have to resign Penei. There are a lot of players you're going to have to pay now. So it's tough for me to say yes to that when there are a lot of players that make this team what they are 2-3 years from now. Tough to say yes.
Happy Camper Harry asks, would baseball be better if it was cut down to 100 games, playing all games in warmer weather?
Baseball would be better if we just stopped fucking watching. It's so shit.
Hey,
if all they did was play playoff baseball, I would watch.
I hear that the new pitch clock system is very effective and it works well.
Yip-de-doo.
Dante asks, Mailbag, which Lions players would you release to free up cap space? Well, the first one's Vitae.
I'd release Jeff.
You cut Vitae, you cut... Cost you pretty cheap, not gonna lie to you. Dante, you honestly, I'd cut Vitae, I'd cut Brockers. Who else? Cut whoever
you got a lot of money ahead of you.
Free some money up.
Baseball
Either
sucks,
Cornell
man.
asks, Mailbag, does Dre Bly make Jeff Okudah a better player? Yeah, I think by default. But again,
Dre Bly makes Jeff Okudah a better player.
But
and
Aaron
Sean
Glenn,
Payton getting hired to the Denver
I know,
Broncos
and that's,
makes me a better host.
I think he makes him a better player. I think AG and Dre Bly, both former corners, successful corners at the position. I think it helps.
Don't do this to yourself.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You know why? Because we had this conversation about Killian Hayes. Stop trying so hard to make something that isn't working work.
It'd be like if the Pistons brought in Chauncey and you're like, well, will he help Killian?
Well, Killian Hayes is now an all-star guard because Chauncey Billups is here.
No, that's not what I'm
Let's
saying.
stop it. Stop it.
No.
Stop. Jeff Okudah, good man. Very good man. Could be an okay corner. He's not a 1, and he's barely a 2. Stop.
And Jesse brings this up, and I've actually heard this as well. He says Dre Bly got canned by UNC because their DBs were the worst in the whole country. Oof.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
Because again, college and the NFL, I don't like to compare. I mean, I think he'll have more success. It's different coaching grown men than collegiate athletes, young men. But we'll see. But yes, you are. I think Dre Bly does make Jeff Okudah better. We agree. We disagree.
Jeff Okudah sucks.
Kevin says just trade Jeff for a 3rd and a 6th. I actually don't mind that deal. You could probably find a good. I think I'm worth a 2nd and a 6th.
I bet you I can find a 5th-round corner that'll produce more than Jeff Okudah will.
No.
Lucas, you want to lose your job, buddy? Put free Hefe again in the chat.
Dude, that free Hefe.
Free Hefe. Been trying to fucking free him for 4 years. Motherfucker hasn't done anything.
He's coming.
Just gotta keep waiting.
I love teasing
waiting.
you.
I'm waiting.
Mailbag. Let's say we sign Ben Powers, guard from Baltimore, get some depth and draft at 9, Joey Porter at 18, Trenton Simpson, and somehow get Brian Bresee in the 2nd round. Do we at least make the NFC Championship game? What?
I don't know how that works.
You get Joey Porter at 9, you get Ben Powers at 9, Joey Porter at 18, Trenton Simpson, and somehow get Brian Bresee in the 2nd round. Wow. Okay.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sorry whoever asked that question, but it's very dumb.
Yeah,
it's unrealistic and it doesn't make any sense.
That would be insane.
Mailbag, what will you be drinking during the Super Bowl? Heineken. I'm a Heineken guy.
Okay.
I don't drink, not a vodka guy. Whiskey, occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on my mood. If I'm really trying to ignore my wife, absolutely. Whiskey. The go-to.
Wow.
Hard liquor is needed at times.
Whiskey does do that.
Listen, you want a happy marriage? Liquor, Heineken, and knowing when to say no. The keys to a successful marriage.
Liquor Heineken mix or just straight?
No. Separate.
Okay,
That's disgusting, Fish.
Well, I don't know. I mean, people make crazy drinks, so.
Oh, God.
Mailbag.
Go for it.
Why do you think people are saying Brad Holmes doesn't value the linebacker position and won't take one in the 1st and 2nd round?
I don't know, because the linebacker position is one of the most important positions on defense. Right. Now, you could argue that there are free agent linebackers and that there is no need to address it in the 1st round. Okay, but I don't have that information in front of me yet. I haven't seen Levante David sign a contract with the Detroit Lions.
Right.
I haven't seen a linebacker who's a free agent sign a deal with the Lions, and until I do, I don't think it's fair to say they won't consider at 18. I don't think it's fair at all.
Mailbag, what's our plan for QB2? Goff is blessed with durability, but have to have insurance just in case. How about Jacoby Brissett?
Guys, can I get the camera? Guys, I love you. All of you. You all mean a lot to me. Jeff, you know how much you mean to me. You're a brother. Everybody in the chat, really appreciate you. Shut the fuck up. All right? Fuck Jacoby Brissett. Fuck Teddy Bridgewater.
Caught astray.
Fuck every single one of them.
Jacoby caught astray.
Fuck the idea of drafting a 5th-round quarterback to be your backup. I don't give a fuck. If Jared Goff is hurt next year, you ain't doing shit.
But what if he's out 3 games?
That's different.
But that's the argument he's making. Like if you got 3 games.
But the idea that we need it's a pressing concern. It's not. Are you a contender next year? Are you a Super Bowl contender where seeding matters? No. So if Jared Goff goes down, you're fucked.
You're right. If he goes down the entire season, but if he's out 2-3 games, you need a backup. You think Sudfeld is going to do anything? Sudfeld?
No.
So you're going to go 0-3 during that stretch?
You're going to pay $8-9 million for a backup quarterback?
I mean,
that's what they cost.
Now you're putting it to me like that.
Well, that's what they cost.
Putting it to me like that now.
So you want to go draft a 5th, 6th, 7th round quarterback? Hopefully you get Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was playing with all pros. It's not the situation here in Detroit. And you know what? I know it's a top 5 offense, but if you really look at the offense, ain't fucking anything there, boys. It's a really good offensive line. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And hopefully next year, Jameson Williams. You have 2 backs, one that's just a goal line back. The other one's always hurt. You had no tight end this year. Chark was injured on and off the field.
So now the offense ain't...
No. The offense is really good.
Okay.
Schematically excellent.
And you got Ben Johnson.
But the players...
Cooking it up.
We're not talking all pros like George Kittle at tight end.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
We're not talking about Debo at wide receiver. We're not talking about Trent Williams at left tackle. We're not talking about McCaffrey in the backfield. Completely different. Relax. Relax. If Jared Goff goes down, your season's over. If he's out for 2-3 games, you can go 1-2 with anybody. Just because of schematically, the offense isn't made about who the quarterback is. It's about running routes, who's available, protection schemes, running the ball well. Everybody gets the ball in this offense. It's not centered around Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams, where you have to throw them the ball, or you don't have an offense.
And it's different because Jalen Hurts, that offense in Philly was built around him. Gardner Minshew, different quarterback. So,
different quarterback.
This offense is built for a guy
brings a
like
different
that.
dynamic.
Right. That Gardner can't bring. So
I'm not paying $8 million for a backup quarterback when I know I'm not on the cusp of a Super Bowl.
If it's not too expensive, I'm okay with a backup.
All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for being patient. We love and appreciate you as always. Like, subscribe to the video. Make sure you sign up for the channel. Make sure you become a member. What are you waiting for? Sign up, $1.99 a month. Access to perks, emojis, you name it, you got it. You get your WSN badge as well. Next month, all of you who have signed up this month will be eligible to receive the silver badge. Next month, the following month, gold. And you keep working your way up. Eventually, you'll get emerald green, which is the official OG badge of the Woodward Sports Network. That comes after 12 months. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a blessed day. We're out of here.
Happy Tuesday. Go watch all the sports.